Across Nebraska, school districts are sowing the seeds of healthy living by connecting students to their food through farm-to-school programs. They give students hands-on experiences that teach them about nutrition, where their food comes from, and what it tastes like.
Ultimately, we want them to eat a variety of healthy foods, and if they're exposed to them in school, I think that's a great start to building good nutrition throughout their life cycle.
The mantra that many schools use for their programs is cafeteria, classroom, and community.
And so that's where we come into play. We're like, we need to educate these kids on what this is. So when they go out into the world on their own, they can go to the grocery store and say, yes, I recognize that. I know what that is. I know how that tastes, and I know how that's beneficial for me.
The cafeteria is where most students experience healthy foods. But many schools bring nutrition and local foods directly into the classroom, either from visits from local farmers and producers, or growing produce right inside the classroom itself. Some schools even take their students to the farms to get their hands in the dirt.
How can we impact the future? Well, we can impact that by, making kids aware of the importance of food and all the issues surrounding it. And then those kids will grow up to be, informed adults.
Farm-to-school programs cultivate economic growth in communities, boosting the livelihoods of hardworking farmers, stimulating local economies, and strengthening community bonds.
I like the momentum of that, and it just gives you some assurance to know that I can put a big crop in, and I know a big chunk of it's got a home, early on in the year as you're planning for stuff like that. So that's probably the biggest benefit for a lot of that on there for our side of it, at least.
From the classroom to the community, farm-to-school programs nurture a culture of health and sustainability that reaches beyond school walls. They're creating healthier eating habits, fostering pride in locally sourced food, and laying the groundwork for a stronger, more connected Nebraska.
This is an exciting time for Farm to School in Nebraska. A couple of years ago, the legislature established an official Farm to School coordinator position at the state level, and so that's being governed through the Department of Ed.
If you've got a belly full of good, nutritious food as opposed to junk food or, high sodium, whatever it may be, that makes a difference as to how those students perform in the classroom too, and on the athletic field, et cetera, et cetera.
The farmers produce and then we consume, but when we're consuming locally, we're helping our own local economy and our local farmers. And it's kind of that full circle of how we can benefit each other within our own community.